Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's video. I am super excited to be reviewing the products that I have in front of me right now. We are going to be putting to the test the brand new Fenty Pro Filter Concealers and the new setting powders. Now, I do want to start off by saying one thing about Fenty Beauty. A lot of people say, well, you know, there's other foundations and other lines that have released, you know, a multitude of shades or colors, you know, all that kind of stuff. And while I hear you, I do have to say this. Yesterday, I actually went to Sephora with my sister and we were looking at the Fenty foundations and all of the concealers. They had them all out. They actually were pairing up the foundation with the concealer shade that went with it, which I thought was super helpful and really awesome. But I do want to say this, the thing that makes Fenty's shade range unique and what I actually got to experience for myself, because I haven't tried any of the, you know, foundations or anything like that, is the shade range has those in-between shades. It's not just a ton of light, medium, and dark. It's like they have those in-between shades that are just those ones that you can't find. Or if you're searching for a foundation, you're like, well, I am a fair skin tone, but I'm kind of neutral, but I pull more warm. They have those shades. My sister is very fair-skinned. She's a lot lighter than me, and she has issues with foundations because a lot of the times the fair shades always seem to have more of either a very, very yellow undertone or they pull very, very rosy and pink. And she found her perfect foundation shade in the Fenty line. And again, as we were sitting there testing all of those out, swatching, looking at the different shades and the undertones, I was actually amazed at all those in-between shades that Makeup Forever, Dior, Smashbox, some of the other brands that do have larger shade ranges just didn't have. And so I will say that despite the fact that a lot of people will say that all these other lines, MAC, Makeup Forever, etc., have released all these foundation shades, what makes it unique are those little shades in between that those other companies just can't seem to get. So I do have to say and let you all know of that. If you haven't had a chance to check out the foundations or the brand new concealers, hop into Sephora and take a look at it. It actually is really amazing how many different undertones and all those different shades that they actually have that really does set this line apart from a lot of different brands. I just had to get that out of the way, but with all of that being said, let's just go ahead and get some of this on my face and let's jump into this review. All right, so I picked up one of the concealers. I picked up mine in the shade 190, and then I also picked up one of the setting powders. Now, what's interesting about the setting powders is that they will actually tell you which one goes with which range of shades. So like from 100 to 190, so forth and so forth. And there's like, I want to say 5 or 6 different shades, maybe more or less, that you can choose from that will match and brighten perfectly. I picked up mine in the shade Butter. So these two are supposed to work with each other and go hand in hand. The packaging on the powder is absolutely beautiful. I love it. It feels so luxe and feminine and luxurious. I just absolutely love this packaging. The concealer packaging as well, I absolutely love. It's like a little mini version of the foundations. It's got like that frosted glass effect, and it does have a little doe foot applicator on the inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in. I wanna try this with a brush and a sponge. We will set both sides with the setting powder. The only thing I have on my face right now, I don't have any powder products, obviously besides eyeshadow. I did put on some of the Fenty Matchsticks contour, which I absolutely love in the shade Mocha. I've talked about this on my channel before. I'm wearing the Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Diamond Milk. I love this. So yeah, that's pretty much, you know, I have everything on except my powder products. So let me zoom you guys in and we will go ahead and get to application and see how this looks. All right, now that I have you guys zoomed in, disclaimer, this is supposed to be a matte, soft matte finish. I struggle with matte products. I either find some that I absolutely love or some that just really aren't for me. It's one of the reasons why I've never really tried the Fenty foundation, because I've watched other reviews on it and there are so many people say, if you have dry skin, this one probably isn't going to work for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off. I have my favorite Wet n Wild sponge in front of me. I have my Morphe cream blending brush that I love from the Jaclyn Hill brush collection. There was also, I think, brushes and sponges that launched with this. I didn't see them in Sephora. I will start off with the sponge, so I'm gonna do this side first. This is like the perfect concealer shade for me. I am so excited about this shade. I'm just gonna start off with the sponge. This is supposed to be full coverage. This is supposed to be creamy. It's supposed to be buildable. So that blended quite nicely. I do feel like I got some nice coverage from it. I don't feel like off the bat that it's full coverage, at least not with the amount that I put on. I don't like to really layer a ton of concealer. I like to start off light first and build from there. Otherwise, it'll be a cakey mess. Now it blends out quite effortlessly and it definitely is a matte finish. The nice thing I will say is I don't feel like you have to work super fast or anything like that. It is creamy. It does give you some wiggle room as far as blending and getting this blended out. So I will say that. I'm not sure though, so far on initial application, I almost feel like it's making my under eye, if you look up close enough, almost look darker, my darker circles. Let me know if you guys can see that. I'm not 100% sure that I'm actually loving it so far, but let's go ahead and keep going. Let's do the other side. Oh, and I don't know if you guys saw that, but if you touch it with your finger, it wants to move around and it will lift. Okay, well, the show must go on. So let's go ahead and try the other side. I'm gonna start off with a little bit more off the jump. Now, I always use a somewhat of a damp brush when I'm using brushes on my skin because I'm dry. And I feel like that I like that better. Let's go ahead and drag some down the nose just to highlight here, here, and here. I like to put concealer down my nose anyways all the time, no matter what, because foundation doesn't stick very well to my nose and adds more coverage and stops my foundation from sliding around. All right, so there we go. Now, first impressions so far, I do want to say again, I feel like it's almost, I don't know if it's the shade or if I need to try a different shade, but I do feel like it's kind of exaggerating the darkness under my eyes versus actually concealing it. And I don't really have that bad of dark circles, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and move on to the setting powder. Again, this is in the shade Butter. Now, the way that this comes packaged in the box is it actually has the piece that sets in and keeps the powder from going everywhere separately, and then they seal it, which is kind of nice. Peel back the sticker, and there it has like this little plastic insert piece that says FB for Fenty Beauty that you can just set on top. Put a little bit of this in the cap. I do like the shaker in this. What's nice is that there's not a whole bunch of holes and you actually get the perfect amount of product without a mess. So A+ on the packaging for the powder. Let's see what it feels like. Very soft, very finely milled. I'm gonna pick up some with the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH07 brush. This is supposed to be, again, a mattifying brush, or a mattifying powder. It's supposed to lock everything in place. This does have a slight fragrance to it. It almost kind of smells like men's cologne. Weird. I actually kind of like it though. It actually smells really good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set down just some of the areas that I do get a little bit oily. I'm not usually oily, but in my T-zone with makeup, I do produce a little bit of oil. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup. I'm gonna pop on a little bit more bronzer, finish up my under eye makeup, kind of do the finishing touches, and then I will be right back with the final thoughts on this product so far. All right, you guys, so I am back. I just popped in a little bit more bronzer, put on a really extremely bright glittery highlight because why not? Here are my final thoughts. First off, I do wanna talk about the powder. I really, really like the packaging. It makes it really easy so that you don't make a huge mess. I love that it has like this little insert in here that you can pop out. Another plus with the powder, the formula itself, is that it is very blurring. It is quite mattifying, so if you're pretty dry, I don't know how much you're going to love this. I did set it down with some very hydrating setting mist, and I do have to say though, I do like the final look with the powder itself. I do have to give some props there. Again, it's very finely milled, it's pore filling, it gives you this very filtered, airbrushed, beautiful look to the skin. It can be heavy though, so I would say using a very fluffy brush to kind of get this all over the face, or using a velour puff to actually press it into the skin so that you're not getting like that kind of icky, heavy, cakey look. I don't see any white cast or anything like that. So overall, so far, I really, really, really do like the powder, and I think it's great that they have different shades and it actually tells you which concealer and which foundation that it actually goes with. So I think that that's really cool. I do enjoy that. The concealer, I do have to say I'm not completely impressed with. Do I like this for highlighting like here on the nose, the chin? Yes, I do think it's good for that. I think that it does offer a good amount of coverage for something like that. Like if you want to use these to more contour with, maybe even getting a darker shade so you can do your contour with it if you're into a cream. That I think they would be good for. But on the under eyes, I don't know what it is. I'm not totally impressed. I think that the powder made the concealer look better. The concealer on its own, I feel like almost exaggerated the color under my eyes. And like I said, I'm not super dark on my under eyes anyways. So yeah, I don't know. And I even layered this up and I feel like I put a good amount on. This is a very thick, very creamy formula. It does blend out well. There's just, I don't know, I'm just not a huge fan personally of the formula, which I'm a little bit bummed about, to be honest. Actually, no, I'm really bummed about it because I am so impressed with the shade range. So I'm really kind of wanting brands to release a giant shade range like this, but in more dewy, illuminating products. I feel like we're kind of missing that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't really know of many lines that have released like 50 foundation shades in a radiant, you know, luminous, creamy finish, and then a concealer to match. I feel like everything is so matte, which is strange because I feel like the more glowy, luminous, no makeup look is kind of what I feel is creeping up as a trend, especially this year, but even last year I feel like everyone was going for this creamy, glowy, radiant look. And I just find it kind of odd that it's like, they just keep releasing all these super, super mattifying products in all of these shades. I think it's great still. I think it's fantastic. I just wish there was that option for those who just didn't necessarily want a mattifying formula. Am I right? Am I the only one thinking this? I don't think I am. Let me know what you think down below. I am going to play with it some more though, just to kind of see. I will keep you guys updated. If you don't already, follow me on Instagram. I just restarted up my Twitter account again, so follow me there. I am going to start making more announcements, little mini tutorials on Instagram when I can. So show me your love and support there as well. Let me know what you guys think about this launch. What are your favorite Fenty products? What have you tried? Is there anything from the line that you recommend that I test out? I haven't tried any of the highlighters or the eyeshadows or anything like that, so sound off down below. Let me know what you think I should try. Did you pick up anything from this new release? Just give me your thoughts. Give me your opinions. I would love to see them because I literally read everything. All right, so with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you liked it. Share it, and of course, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell button before you go. I love you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye, guys.